There you go, done with me. Right.
There's a show on at Tate Modern at the moment called The Biggest Splash.
Yeah, I've been in already.
There's a piece of work in that where an artist is putting makeup on and then taking it off. That's the film.
That's the film. Yeah.
You see her. It's a shot that's closer than that. It's like this, and she puts all the makeup on and takes it all off.
Yeah, I saw that bit as well. So there you go. But there's also like what also got me as well. There's a film in there where this artist was literally sitting there talking, but there was no sound, just black and white sort of thing. So it's kind of half stolen, but maybe taking influence. I don't know. But.
So just to get me on the page here, that there's this that you might edit down to a sort of sequence of animated screenshots that compacts it and it moves it much more rapidly through and condenses a small work which might loop, so therefore it repeats.
So it keeps going.
From this. And that other piece that you've edited together from the film, very dark film of Sam putting on paint and pulling it through. And then there's other ones which are in need of editing, sort of thing, which I did do with Sam, which I'll find in the files down here. Because for once, I was actually organised. Right, but there I did clips, actually. Some clips. I did clips of Sam in the bathroom, like taking the paint off. Like when you looked over the shoulder. Obviously the sound would be taken off, so I'll just mute it as well. Have you ever seen Once Upon a Time in New York?
Heard of it, never seen it. Because the thing is, I like about this, I would have started more down here when you can't see me in the mirror. But I like how in this one she's looking at herself, but how she's looking at herself is like in someone else, because all you can see most of the time is the back of her, which is not painted. So.
Have you ever looked at, I should write these down as I mention them, shouldn't I?
Yeah, because my memory is terrible. Got a piece of paper somewhere. No, can't use that, and I can't use her stuff. 1 second. Lisa, are you going to spend this paper or no?
Yeah, have a look. It's there. Move the camera so there should be one. If you turn over, I think it might be blank.
That's such a majority. That's cool.
One time I actually didn't bring my Hello Kitty card. And I needed it. Oh, right, I've already got one. But, of course, like this bit here as well. This is a shot I like because, like I say, back, and then she's probably looking at herself in the mirror steaming up and everything. So this is just the rough thing where it's just the footage that I shot, and then I would have edited it down to the bits that I thought worked the most. And the original idea was to like make it into a sequence of when she puts on the paint and then when she's taking it off again. And this is the one that, oh, sorry.
Have you ever heard of a painting called the Rockaby Venus?
No.
You ever heard of Diego Velázquez?
No.
You ever heard of the National Gallery?
Yes.
It's in the
Always
National
wanted to
Gallery.
go. Always wanted to go. Always wanted to see the pre-Raphaelite paintings because I think they're awesome, full of emotions.
You won't find any in the National Gallery.
But, oh well. Oh no, the National Gallery. Oh yeah, I have been. Sorry, then I was thinking of the Queen Albert and everything like that. But this is the one as well where Sam's all painted up. It looks a bit weird, but while she was doing this, having a cigarette and everything, we were talking, and it's like quite interesting when you turn the sound off, because you just see her as, well, looking a bit strange, but it's also like human and kind of simple, you know.
Is this shot at the same time as the piece that you've edited?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because it looks like the paint's the same.
Yeah.
Although clearly,
no.
well, presumably you turn the darkness down
Yeah.
in the editing process. Yeah. Okay.
You turn the darkness down and brighten the paint up. But this is like the normal, you know, just regular shot. And I was like thinking maybe because I think this shot is kind of good as it is, to be honest. Like with just talking. And I think that's quite interesting when you like just film people like talking, sort of thing. Like just doing the everyday. I was talking about this to Rachel actually, and she was just like, well, it's very like simple. And I keep hearing that from teachers, from tutors, it's like, your work's very simple, but because of that, that makes it work, you know?
What is it? What is this work?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't understand the question. To me, it's filming Sam as she is, sort of thing.
Is it just looped to the beginning
Yeah.
again? Yeah. So it's filming, and it's Sam, and it's as she is.
Yeah.
A process, a medium, if you like, a subject, and a quality about that subject.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that short. The question is, it's not a trick question, it's to get you to kind of go, well, this is what it is, which you just did very briefly. And that's got, I can then go, okay, so it's filming, it's identifying a person, a subject, a person that's the theme of the work. But then it's adding something to it, it's saying something about that person. As she is. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because she's in an unusual state. Not exactly nude, but without clothes on, and all covered in paint.
Yeah.
Then having a fag.
Yeah.
And chatting with you.
But you can't hear the chatting. So, yeah.
As you film it, with her sat there, like she might just be sat there normally, except she isn't normally because she's not got her clothes on, she's got a towel on, wherever it is, and she's covered in paint. So it makes it not normal in the usual run of things. It's a bit unusual, but otherwise it's kind of potentially a normal situation. Except you'd think, okay, she's sat there against a big blank wall.
Yeah.
Someone might be sat in a place with a blank wall behind them having a fag, having a chat to their friend who's filming them. You zoom out and we go, oh, light switch, door, radiator.
Yeah.
Okay, it's domestic, probably.
Yeah. Domestic. But
So what's that actually? What's going on? What's happening between this is just Sam as she is, as you see her, a friend, but a friend with a camera, as she's pausing and having a fag and chatting to you, but semi-naked and covered in paint.
yeah.
What? So
I think that was because the consequence of what we were doing at the time. We thought it would be quite interesting to do.
But if I see this as a piece of work, I don't know what came before. I see what I see.
Yeah.
Don't I? You know, that's obvious. If you show me a film that shows me you doing the painting, then this is the moment after. Now you've constructed a narrative sequence of here's the putting the paint on, then here's after we've done that, and she's having a break and a fag.
See, that's the thing as well, because this was actually also constructed in a way that it was a vlog, which is where I actually go and talk to the camera itself. And let's see where I'm going with this. Right, I'll turn the sound down. But I was going to put these clips together
Choosing not to steal?
to see our journey
Blue
of how we
hands.
went to do this.
Oh,
for my
hey, what's up, you
vlogs.
guys? Today
I've been
we
doing
are
loads of these
doing some stuff with
because I
Sam.
love it.
He's just going to paint me naked or in a bikini. I'm not quite sure of her yet. But I thought I would help by getting a brush, and I got blue hands for
Yeah,
it
don't
instead.
steal from me.
So yeah, that teaches me to be helpful. Cool then. Right, so as you can see here, we've got all the paint stuff. Yeah. And my phone. Sam's happy here. She doesn't like me filming, but still. And unfortunately, we came all the way down here from mine to find that the dark room was being used already, which sucks. So we're going all the way back to mine and filming me getting stuff while it's naked, probably. I don't know. But it's gonna be good. Yeah. So yeah. And giving an update from my work. You guys, the vlogs that you watch, and now
To be
becoming my
kind
work.
of just blunt, this
Yeah.
makes me think of what you see when people make TV programs.
Okay.
Non-professional people are given a
Yeah.
camera and they go, make a TV program, and they film themselves and what they do.
Yeah.
It-
That's basically it, basically.
And is it doing that for real, or is it doing that for
See,
representing that? There's a difference between doing it.
I do have a backstory to these vlogs. These were not supposed to be my main piece of work. These are supposed to be the extra bits, the behind the work,
Yeah.
so people can look behind the scenes. Whoever is interested, who looks
Okay.
on YouTube.
Okay?
That's the sort of reason why I did that.
Yeah,
Because I saw people on YouTube do the exact same, and I thought that's quite interesting.
absolutely.
It is quite interesting because it gives it more of a backstory to it than a piece of work that's just been put on the internet. So that's why I started doing these, and also started like including in my life and like doing vlogs of me, like just living sort of thing, which I can show you if you'd like. But then
I was forgetting to state the obvious. Making TV programs is because I don't surf the net that much. But of
Yeah.
course, the real home of this sort of thing.
it's YouTube.
It's
and
YouTube.
in
Yeah.
places like that.
And then we see
Yeah.
these things from YouTube on TV as
Yeah.
well. But so what's the difference between you doing a thing on YouTube that's just like anybody who might do a blog
Yeah.
of what they get up to and put it on YouTube, and you doing it? Is there a difference?
No, because it's the only difference is the other scene in my life and then this. That's the only difference, I would say.
And I'm bearing in mind what you said a moment ago,
Yeah.
that this isn't the work. This is just a kind
It
of
was an extra.
back story to the work.
Yeah, it was a backstory.
Yeah.
But then in my mid-semester crit, this is where I got really freaking confused, and that's also why I got frustrated in my tutorial, because I showed this to Vicky, and she was the one who turned around and says, "Yeah, you go and do that. These are really interesting." And I thought, okay, I've got tons of footage of that. I'm sorted. I'm fine. And then I showed it in my group tutorial, and no one understood it, and it was just like, bollocks. I've got nothing.
So
Yeah.
one tutor says you've got lots of that, do lots of that.
Yeah.
And then in a tutor group meeting, you're showing the blogs.
Yeah, the vlogs, of me just talking.
And the
Uh,
tutor group meeting is going, we don't understand.
Yeah, why?
What is it?
What's it mean, and what's it trying to represent, and everything like
Okay.
that.
And what do
Yeah.
you think?
I'm just trying to represent myself and my life and who I am as a person in the everyday, because every day, I feel like people there's so many thousands of people in the world, yet we're all focused on our own lives. So I thought, in some ways, it's kind of represent me as a person in my own life, and that's why I did that. And I thought it'd be that's interesting, but it's not legitimate artwork really. So it's more of a video diary.
Yeah, it's a video there.
Yeah.
So there are two thoughts. One is how is that art not just a video? Well,
Yeah.
you've already got to that thought, so that's good. That seems to me like a very relevant question. And the second thought is you focused on your own life, doing your life, and this is true for anyone who, I think, who does video blogs and YouTube video blogs. What's going on as the person decides to film themselves, focused on their life, doing what they do, narrating it to show the world through YouTube? What's happening there? In that decision to document it, comment on it, and present it to anyone who might find it on YouTube, what is happening in that decision and action? That's not just someone living their life and interested in their life. Something else happens there, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I wanted to represent my life in the thing I do. Like, the most thing I'm interested in showing is how I handle my mental health issues. And that's where the whole idea it stems from, but I just find it really hard to represent. And like, I wanted to do something like that, to show I'm a normal human being like anyone else, but with the persona of mental health, there's still a lot of stigma around it. Like, there's still a lot of, like, people don't understand or know how to handle it. And like I say, at the start, this was just an extra thing. I just thought, well, why not? I see these people doing it on the internet, and it's quite interesting. I thought, I'll do it, just show that I'm a person. And then I came up with an idea when Vicky said, oh, you should carry on with these. I thought, well, maybe I could edit it in a way to make it like look, say like, do you know when it's more in like American TV, but when they have like the little lines there with all the text, I thought I could do that with it just normally playing, a normal day. But then it's just got little things saying handle with care, fragile, stuff like that. Don't say anything stupid, like these little quick phrases, or it flashes to that. Or maybe flashes just me doing something a bit more weird and artistic, I don't know.
So it looks like a standard video blog that anybody might make.
Yeah.
But then you're adding signs to it that make the viewer go, something else is being said here than just here's a person living their life telling whoever picks up the blog, today I'm doing this and I'm doing that and then this and it's sunny and it's thirsty. Okay. So you might edit it, you might add these other signifiers in and it turns it into a something else where it becomes a work in the form of a blog, but an altered blog, or at least a fashioned blog, not just a raw. Today I'm doing this. Today I'm doing Y. Okay. And then then that becomes something back on YouTube as a blog, or becomes a film that we'd encounter in other forms or in other places.
Back on YouTube, because that's my main domain. Sort of thing. YouTube is my main thing. I know Tim wants me to do Vimeo as well because of the copyright on YouTube. But I did actually explain this in a video. I feel that I put these things on YouTube because I feel like it will get to more people that way. I'll get my work out there just a little bit more, than it would normally do on like Vimeo, or just post it straight onto a blog. So I don't know, and maybe I'm just trying to reach out to a bigger community. So
okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about what you should do. I'm hearing what you're saying. Oh, it's frustrating because one tutor says X and then tutor group meeting says something different. And what I say to all students about that is, I know that's tough. I know that's frustrating and difficult, but that's the way it works.
It's the way the course is.
It's the way the course is. It's the way art is. Somebody simply telling you the right answer is not going to be it.
Hopefully you've told this to other people as well.
I say it to students day in, day out.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go then.
What do you mean, there you go then? What does that mean?
Well, that means as in, well, then you're panicking for nothing, aren't you?
I don't know. I'm not panicking. What do you mean?
I am.
You're panicking.
Yeah.
What?
Because I don't feel like I've got anything really to show for this term, apart from what I've just shown you, like a ton of vlogs, what I've done with Sam,
Yeah.
and then the editing ones, well, one of them I feel like I still can't use, but even though you said that's an exaggeration, but I still feel like I can't use that. And then another one which I'm working on, which I think is quite interesting, is, well, maybe a way forward, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the thing that you were just saying about working with the blogs but using labelling? Are you sort of saying that you don't think you should do that because Tim said no, do more of that,
Yeah.
rather than that? Is Tim saying don't do that? Is that talking about just the blogs or these blogs that become edited?
No, that's just the blogs.
Okay, so that's not what he's said. Don't do that.
Yeah, he
So-
said to do more filming with Sam and kind of just follow Sam around, and it's just like, that's good and everything, and I love working with Sam, but I don't want to be a freaking stalker, sort of thing. That's said in a funny context, but I don't want to be always focusing on Sam. I want to focus on my own ideas.
Yeah, and given that there's this tension about this, whose work is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so as I was saying yesterday, you just got to make a marker and going, okay, we're not falling out, fine. We both use it because it's kind of a collaborative thing. But we go, all right, from here we're a bit clear about what's mine, and we make our work so that this shared piece is there, but it's just a bit of our each individual set of work. Now, I don't know. I don't know what Tim said. Have another conversation with Tim to clarify things.
I'm seeing him tomorrow.
Okay,
actually.
good. Clarify things more in the context of yesterday's discussion, today's discussion, and me saying, look, tutors will say different things to you. Tutor group discussion will say different things to you. In the end, you got to make decisions about where you're going to take the work.
Well, I do like that idea of like editing the blog so it looks
Well,
normal, and then it's something different.
That's not just doing blogs. And if Tim was steering you away from just doing blogs, if you're taking blogs as a kind of form or language, and then you're doing things with it, to it, and putting it back in the context, the natural habitat of that form, that language, then that's not just doing blogs anymore. That's kind of doing something with blog as material.
Okay.
Now, I don't know whether that's going to be good in the end or not, and I'm not saying you must do that, because to be absolutely bluntly honest, I'm not sure what you should do.
Yeah.
I can see, there's different things there. I'm kind of struggling to really get my head around it, where it's going and how it works.
Yeah.
But, what you just said to me sounded reasonably cogent. It sounded like it made sense. I'm making blogs, they're out there on YouTube, but then I'm thinking, take the blogs that look just like anybody else's blog and start to kind of reshape them so they're not just what comes out of my mouth, what hits the lens on a daily basis, blah, 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 blah. It's that, then you're engineering it to have other things going on with it, then positing it back in the context where blogs live,
which I think is
then that sounds potentially interesting to me. I don't know whether it's going to be good, but it sounds potentially interesting.
I don't see why I can't try it, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just knock it on its head. I have very months to think of it, do more stuff, and then come back next year.
Okay, so bear that thought in mind. Have another conversation with Tim. See whether his view was as fixed as it seems like you feel it was. Like, don't do that, do this.
Yeah.
Was it really that fixed? If he's hearing this conversation and what you've just been suggesting to me, is that a slightly different angle on what you're doing than he'd heard before? Yeah. What's his view of that?
See,
I don't want to launch in and tell you, don't listen to him, because he's got more idea of what you've been doing than I have, and he's probably more knowledgeable about.
To be quite honest, though, after that tutorial and everything, I came to a point, and I went home. Like, sick of this freaking course, gonna freaking quit. Got up the next morning and still came in thinking that, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I like and what I film, stuff I find interesting, and then put together not in the sort of like, oh, screw off everyone. It's more the fact that I think I'm tired of putting the pressure on myself to conform to what everyone's been saying, sort of thing.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't conform to what everybody says because that people will say different things.
Yeah.
The task for the student is to process that, to test things. You know, someone says, try this, you try it and go, is that useful? Maybe it is. Yeah, perhaps I'll work with it, perhaps I'll adapt it, perhaps I'll run with it, perhaps I'll go, no, it's not useful, I'm putting it aside again. That's the challenge of being an art student and getting these different inputs.
And that's what I want to
So it's not,
yeah.
it doesn't, you don't have to let it become unbearable pressure, but it does test you and challenge you, but that can be creative.
Yeah.
And then in the end, you start making choices and decisions about how the work shapes and what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
Having said all of that, continue the conversation with Tim, because I don't want to undermine, you know, his ongoing dialogue with you. I'd hate for you to go back to, Chris says I should do all this, and I'm going, well, I don't know if I said that, and him to go, oh God, well, you know, I've got this long conversation with Tash, and that's not very helpful. I don't want to be unhelpful in that, but it sounds a bit like, does he know what you're talking about right now?
No, I don't think
And if he
understands
got to hear that, might he go, well, okay, so show me what that's going to be like. You know, make some and let's see.
Okay.
Maybe he'll say that. It's certainly worth running it past him to see.
Yeah.
So don't.
Like I say, I could do it with Tim saying, yeah, give it a go ahead. And if it doesn't work out, I'm thinking, well, if it doesn't work out, then I'll learn from it.
Yeah.
I've got the 3 months when I'm off
to
really rethink about it, and also give myself a break so I can get fresh ideas in. And
that's quite possible too.
Yeah.
That's quite possible too.
Or either that, or just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know Gillian Waring?
Yep, love her, absolutely do. And I'm also studying her for my essay as well.
So there's the works of transposed voices. I don't know what the work's called, but where she films someone lip syncing to a soundtrack of someone else related to them talking.
Yes, it is. It's the two boys and their mum.
Yeah.
And the boys are really rude and horrible, and the mum's always really sweet.
So
about
there's
them.
that. You know, I was looking at those bits of footage with Sam where we were talking about, well, what is? And I was saying, well, what is that work? And you said, well, it's film. It's Sam as she is. And I'm going, well, yeah, good. That's a helpful starting point. But I'm going, but it's kind of an unusual situation. It's a kind of normal situation, but with unusual circumstances. Yeah. She's not clothed normally, and she's covered in paint. Yeah. She's sat there in a fag chatting in front of the camera. So
I thought I could do more stuff like that, just normal filming of people as they are, but clothed and not covered in paint.
Well, it's kind of interesting because that's normal but not normal.
Yeah.
That's that mixture. Yeah. What's wrong with this picture? The picture is, what's wrong with it is she hasn't got any clothes on, but she's covered in paint. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
If it's just someone clothed sat there having a chat, then it's that. Yeah. But it's someone sat there having a chat, but hang on a minute, this is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know where that goes, but that's kind of interesting. Does that lead to the idea of filming people as they are, to use your phrase, in apparently normal situations that aren't quite normal?
Yeah.
Gillian Waring's work to some extent explores that sort of territory where she transposes voices or
people,
the text thoughts, write on this piece of card what you're thinking and hold it up while I photograph you.
The piece I really loved what she did was when she got people to come in, put a mask on and confess all, and I thought I could do that and invite people to tell me tell me about your day, or tell me things that you think, or one fault, and then maybe either I can bring people in to do it and film them and in some ways take it from her, but also maybe I do it myself wearing a mask or doing something weird. And
you could try that. You could try that, but be aware it's kind of
stealing. Yeah.
No, I wasn't going to say stealing. It's just kind of very well-known territory.
Yeah.
So you could do it, and God knows we encourage students to emulate the work of other people, to learn from it, but be aware that it's been done
Time and time again.
quite a lot.
Yeah.
So you'd be walking over territory that's known.
Yeah.
Be aware of that.
Okay.
Okay. But you could try that out, maybe.
Maybe.
And I was thinking, do you know 60 Minutes of Silence?
Yeah. The one where the police officers are standing there and it's a bit like...
Standing and sat there
Yeah.
doing absolutely nothing for a whole 60 minutes and then
Yeah.
But they're not all police officers. In fact, most of them were actors. I don't know how many of them were actually police officers.
Oh. Didn't know that.
So it's normal and not normal. They're posed for a photo where you hold the pose for a few moments while someone goes click.
Yeah.
But this is for a video, and the video keeps recording.
Sorry. Yeah.
So they're holding their pose for 60 minutes. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
it's an apparently usual, normal, predictable thing,
Yeah.
but it's got its weird version of that expectable thing. And then we hear the story that they're all police people posed for a photo. It's not a photo, it's a 60-minute video. And then they're not actually police people,
Yeah.
or they're not all police people. Then things aren't what they appear to be. So, again, well, normal in the sense that, I don't know about normal, but you know what they are. They're police people, men and women, in their uniforms, but they're not. Or are they? Or what's going? So
I like that
kind
sort of normal.
plays.
I do like the idea of normal, but it's not normal sort of thing.
Okay.
So,
So those are some things to look at.
yeah, will do.
To
Will do.
sort of continue the thinking around what's what. Rockaby Venus, painting by Diego Blázquez in the National Gallery of a nude, beautiful Venus woman looking in a mirror that's, you can't quite see her face in.
Oh yeah, I've seen
It's
that.
a big theme in art.
Yeah.
Okay, well that
Yeah.
video is playing on that.
Oh. Did not know that.
Well, that's
I didn't
what it
think
makes
about
me
it,
think
yeah?
of. And you might find other paintings in the history of painting that play on that theme.
Could I do films based on that idea or something? I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah.
You could. Whether that's the right thing to do, I can't tell you right now, but that's a
I
theme.
think it's all about really just trying it, isn't it? That's what
It-
Tim keeps saying.
It is about just trying it, but in the end you have to make some choices, because
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
what
keep trying
yeah.
millions of things. It doesn't get anywhere if you try too many things and then there aren't any decisions or choices that begin to make a
because
direction.
that's where I'm at right now. I've tried so many things, but there seems to be no real clear direction
Okay,
into what I want
so
to do
that's-
next year, and that's the thing that's really bothering
That's
me.
what you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to kind of go, this is where it's going, this is how I'm trying it, this is how I'm
Yeah.
developing it, and we'll see, like you said, we'll see. You might change direction again, but you need a sense of direction.
That's what I need, because right now it just feels like I'm grabbing all these ideas, trying each one out, and then I'm thinking, well, I've got all this stuff, but I have nothing to really
Okay,
do or
so
show.
you need to develop
Yeah.
a sense of direction. Doesn't mean a one singular, no other possibilities option, but a sense of things pointing somewhere, beginning to add together rather than just spreading out. You know, think
'Cause if
of
I could
focus
do-
rather than spread.
Yeah, because if I could do the vlogs, but then mix it with the thing, do you know how it's really edited and like sound stuff with her putting it in the face? Well, more me doing stuff like I used to in last term, where I had videos of me doing things in masks. I can quickly show you if you like, so if you have an idea.
I'm way over time, so
Oh, alright,
I've not
sorry.
got more time to spare. I think Lisa James just, when she's gone, or hopefully just
Alright,
nipped out
sorry.
for a second, because I'm waiting to see her, she's waiting to see me.
But
I'm sure we're both waiting
But
to
doing
get home.
something more abstract, mixed in with the vlogs, to though it makes it, and then putting the phrases in there, so it makes it more like.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of the abstract, but you were talking about signifiers that
Yeah.
start shaping what it is that we're seeing in an apparently ordinary blog is now reframed by these signifying labels.
Said that way.
But these labels like come in underneath.
Yeah.
I
Talk
do-
that over
yeah.
with Tim. See what he thinks.
I just do like mixing it, an idea of mixing footage, which I've also seen in the film.
Do me a tutorial for me.
Okay, I've never done those.
Well, it's time you did.
No, I usually get away with that.
That's a fair one. What?
Right.
Put your details in at the top here. Date.
Okay.
Your name.
Okay.
Do this for yourself, but what I'm most interested in is you noting what we talked about, signing it, giving it to me, still attached, so I can add comments, sign it, and give you the top copy back. Okay?
Do you have this right now? I'm supposed to be a new landlord.
The sooner you do it, the better chance you have of remembering things.
Tash, I need my pen, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can borrow mine if you do it now. Give it to me before you go.
Don't like writing.
I know.